As the counting of votes for the November 20th elections draws towards a close, the new parliament is set to become less inclusive than the previous House of Representatives. With only 8 women and 1 Dalit candidate winning the direct category, these communities are going to be underrepresented. It means that the constitutional requirement of 13.8% reservation of Dalits and 33% for women will be completed through PR category. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya, Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Government formation process hampered as vote counting yet to conclude. Election Commission estimates 2 more weeks for the results. Parliament Secretariat expedites preparations. Around 1.3 million votes received under PR category by parties to go to waste due to 3% threshold. CPN-UML leads, but national status of unified socialists under threat. NATO pledges to give more weapons to Ukraine and help fix critical energy infrastructure badly damaged by massive Russian missile and drone strikes. And Netherlands top Group A, Qatar become first host to crash out, remaining pointless. Senegal through to last 16, Ecuador 2 crash out. Group C and Group D matches tonight. The vote counting in Patsar district has finally concluded last night. Disputes had flared in Patsar during the vote counting after ballots of proportionate category were found while ballots of direct category were being counted. According to the final result, CPN-UML's Basantakumar Nemwang has emerged victorious there in a tight race, defeating Bhishmaraj Angadambe of Nepali Congress by a margin of just 46 votes. According to the final results made public by the Office of the Election Officer, Nemwang bagged 32,135 votes, while Angadambe garnered 32,089 votes. When the vote counting completed on the morning of 25th of November, Nemwang was leading with 32,110 votes, while Angadambe was close behind with 32,063 votes. As Nemwang started to celebrate his victory, dispute arose during the counting of the proportionate votes when ballots towards the direct category were found. The Office of the Election Officer added the direct category votes found during the counting of the proportionate votes and made public the final results last night and handed Nemwang the winning certificate. Former Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure and Planning, Nemwang, has now claimed his 4th win in parliamentary elections in Patsar. Government formation is likely to be delayed as the vote counting is yet to conclude in several constituencies, while several others are yet to vote. Mainstream parties, meanwhile, have begun calculating possible equations to head the government. The Election Commission has estimated it will take 2 more weeks to conclude vote counting in Dolkha district. It is also yet uncertain when the Election Commission will submit the final results of the November 20 election, which will pave way for the government formation. The President, upon receiving the final list of elected people's representatives, calls for the formation of the parliament, which once formed will need to form a government within 35 days of its first session. The Election Commission had before announced of concluding the election within 1 week time. However, voting that had halted due to disputes in some constituencies in Dolkha has yet to take place. Likewise, vote counting has been halted in Syangja too. Around 1.3 million votes casted towards the proportionate category in the provincial and parliamentary elections are to go wasted based on the votes threshold that parties need to attain. CPN-UML has maintained its lead in the vote counting so far, followed by Nepali Congress and then CPN-Maoist Center. These 3 parties, along with Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi Party and Janamat Party, have managed to attain the threshold of 3%, while 40 of the other parties have yet to attain it. Madhav Kumar Nepal-led Unified Socialist is yet to cross the required 3% threshold, which is seen as a massive setback for this splinter party of CPN-UML. These 40 parties, which have failed to cross the 3% threshold, have jointly collected 1.2 million votes, while 1 million more votes are yet to be counted. Based on the current scenario, CPN-UML is likely to get 33 seats, Nepali Congress 31, and CPN-Maoist Center 13. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why has the government's plan to establish primary hospitals at all local levels failed. Your options are A. Inadequate research, B. Change in governments, and C. Contractors' negligence. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The issues of landless squatters who have been living in the banks of Bagmati River have been raised by parties as a political agenda on several occasions. However, the agenda has so far remained unresolved. The landless squatters who were involved in a skirmish on Monday as the Kathmandu metropolis attempted to evict them encircled the metropolis office yesterday. However, this was not the first time efforts were made to remove the squatters. Meanwhile, the government lacks data on the squatters and a proper plan to manage such settlements. The trend of illegally occupying land in the riverbanks of Kathmandu was reported since 1979. Within 10 years since the record keeping began, a significant number of squatter settlements mushroomed. According to Ministry of Urban Development, there are 2,134 households of land squatters in 17 settlements in the year 1985. The settlements expanded to 64 and the number increased to 14,500 households by 1997. In 2011, former Prime Minister Baburam Bhattrai was able to temporarily remove the squatters from the riverbanks. However, the landless squatters later resettled in Thapatali, citing the government's failure to relocate them. There are currently around 150 households at the Bagmati river banks. Meanwhile, the building constructed by the Kathmandu Valley Development Authority in Ichangu at an investment of just over 143 million rupees to house the squatters has remained unused. Lack of coordination between the Kathmandu metropolis and other security bodies have been witnessed during an effort to evict land squatters in the capital's Thapatali. The land squatters who had been residing in the banks of Bagmati River had demonstrated against the authorities of Kathmandu metropolis that reached the capital's Thapatali to remove them from their settlement. A number of police personnel sustained injuries during the clashes as the squatters pelted stones at them. Meanwhile, the Kathmandu metropolis has said it lacked the support of the security bodies. The Kathmandu metropolis had claimed that 36 security personnel had been injured while only 3 are receiving treatment at hospitals. The District Administration Office Kathmandu and security bodies have denied commenting on Monday's incident. The Chief District Officer of Kathmandu, Ghanshyam Gautam, meanwhile, has unofficially claimed of having provided security to the metropolis. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what should the government do to address the problems of landless squatters and unmanaged settlements. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
व्यवस्थापन गर्न सक्ने कुरा हुँदैन हामीलाई अब जति सक्दो चाँडो लाल पूर्जाको व्यवस्था गरिदिनु भयो लाल पूर्जा दिएदेखि आफ्नो व्यवस्थित हुन्थ्यो शहरी सुकुम्बासी र ग्रामीण सुकुम्बासी सरकारले पहिला त्यो छुट्याउनु पर्छ भूमिहीन र अव्यवस्थित बसोबासको त्यो छुट्याउनु पर्यो कार्यान्वयन नहुँदाखेरि त्यो समस्या झन् चाँगिदै गएको छ छानबिन गरेर पूर्जाहरू वितरण गरिदिनु भए धेरै राम्रो हुन्थ्यो पहिचान गरेपछि उनीहरुलाई राख्ने ठाउँको व्यवस्थापन गरेर मात्रै त्यो ठाउँबाट हटाउँदा उचित हुन्छ हामीलाई बसोबास चाहियो नेपाल सरकारले हामीहरुलाई चाहिँ थायी रूपले जुन ठाउँमा घर छ त्यही ठाउँमा हामीहरुलाई व्यवस्थापन गरिदियोस्
That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.